Hi, I'm Stuart from the Norfolk Honey Company and welcome to another Beekeeping Basics. So this morning I'm back at the allotment apiary. I've just got a few frames to sort out. They need cutting out, the wax needs to be melted and the frames need to be cleaned ready for some more foundation. But before we get started, I just wanted to say a big thank you to Joanne, who's our latest patron on our Patreon page. That's people that are supporting us in making these videos, and I'll put some details down in the description. And before we get into the work today, I just wanted to mention for all the beginner beekeepers out there that the temperature has really dropped today. Yesterday we had temperatures around 17-18 degrees Celsius. This morning it's back down into single figures. It's really chilly, and it's really just a warning for all beekeepers to say don't start doing any really complex manipulations or any tasks that you think that you'd like to get stuck into this spring, maybe artificial swarms, Bailey comb exchange. It's still really too cold for any of those kind of manipulations. You run the risk of doing more damage to your bees than good, and if you're only running maybe 1 or 2 or 3 hives, then to suddenly find that you've split a colony and that colony suddenly is struggling because of the cold weather is going to be quite difficult to recover from going into the summer, and therefore you could well lose a honey crop. So just hold off doing any kind of manipulations, full-scale inspections until the weather warms up sufficiently so that the overnight temperatures are on the rise, and that's really the key. If you wait until the overnight temperatures are increasing, then that's going to make things a lot easier for your bees to deal with any of the manipulations that you have planned. I tend to think of my honeybees as tender plants that I'm going to be moving out from a greenhouse out into the garden, and you don't want to be putting them out into the garden when it's too cold. If you get a frost, then the plants are going to die, and I tend to treat my honeybees very much like that. So wait until late April, early May before you start getting involved in replacing lots of comb, in getting involved in artificial swarms, making up nukes, that kind of thing. Okay, so today I'm just here at the allotment before we bring the nukes up in a few weeks' time. I've just got some frames that I want to cut out and recover the wax from. I'm off to the British Beekeeping Association's Spring Convention at the weekend, and I thought I'd just render down some more wax to take over there and maybe exchange for some more foundation. So I'll just set the camera up in the corner and you can see what I get up to in cutting out all of this wax. So I've just got a large pan of water here that's just about to boil, and all I'm going to do is to cut the wax out of the frames and drop it in here, and that's going to melt the wax, and then I can scoop out any of the rubbish that floats on the surface, and then we can just decant the molten wax off and let that settle, cool down and solidify, and then it'll be ready to take for wax exchange. So I'm sure that you all don't want to watch me cutting out wax. It took me the best part of 3 hours, but I did want to just show you this wax. It's almost good enough to use in the hive, but I couldn't remember which colony it had come from, and so I thought it best to render it all down. I really don't want to be in a position where I could potentially spread disease infections to other colonies because I was just a little bit careless. And although it might seem like a waste because I could give it to the bees and they wouldn't need to draw comb, I didn't want to take that risk, so it's going in the pan. So on the left you can see another pan that has all the non-wax solids from the frames that I've just cut out. So that's all of the casings from where the bees have pupated and then emerged, and each time they do that they leave a little piece of silk inside the cell. And so lots of wire that was used to wire the foundation. So that's all come out, and now I'm just pouring the molten wax and some of the slurry that's beneath the wax into this white bucket, and I just top it up to the top and then set it to one side and allow it to solidify, and we do that overnight and then go back and remove the solid wax from above the liquid that's left below, and then we just scrape all the crud off the bottom, and then it's ready to go into wax exchange. So as you can see, the sun has come out. I've got my jumper and coat off, and the temperature's really risen quite dramatically. We're now up to about 14 or 15 degrees, probably higher away from the cool breeze that's still blowing. So I've finished melting down all of the old comb, and I've got 4 buckets that have got the wax that's now solidifying again, so it's still quite warm and it's solidifying. So what I'm going to do is leave it overnight, and then I'll come back in the morning and we'll just do another quick video when I take the wax out of the buckets, and I'll just scrape all the waste off the bottom of the wax, and then it'll be ready to take to the trade show and swap it for some more foundation. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. We're now into the new season, and I'm looking forward to doing lots of inspections and showing you lots of ways that you can manipulate your bees to increase the number of colonies that you've got, to produce queens using a range of different methods, and just generally trying to help your bees through the summer and produce a honey crop of whatever size for you. Don't forget to hit the like button down below, and also don't forget that we have our own Facebook group now. It's called Stuart's Beekeeping Basics, and you'd be very welcome to sign into that and join in our community discussions. So I'll catch up with you again first thing in the morning, and then we'll just record one last little clip, and then we'll finish off the video tomorrow morning and we'll see how much wax we've got. So it's the following morning, I'm back up at the allotment, and I'm just going to empty out these buckets. The wax is solidified on the top, and I'll just get them onto a tray, and then I can show you how much wax I've managed to recover from all of those frames that I've cut out and boiled up yesterday. Okay, so this is what we're left with, a disc of wax, and then underneath you'll find lots of rubbish. So we've got 3 fairly decent discs of wax here ready to go into the trade show for wax exchange, and there's one small one on the top there. But I'm going to take it home now and weigh it, and we'll see how much it weighs, and then I can calculate roughly how much wax I'm going to get. And I think this is going to become foundation for my supers, because I'm a little bit short on wax for the supers, and it saves me having to spend a fortune on freshly milled foundation. So I hope you found that interesting. I'll put up a graphic to say exactly how much this weighs and what I can expect in terms of wax return, and we'll catch up next time. Thanks for watching.